In 1956, Israel and its Arab neighbors were on the brink of a new war. The reason for this was the Israeli occupation and Palestinian fighters. These fighters were those who were displaced during the Nakba in 1948. Now they were camped in Egyptian-controlled Gaza and were attacking Israel. In response to these attacks, Israel also attacked Gaza, in which many Egyptian soldiers were also killed. To teach Israel a lesson, Egypt closed the Suez Canal and the Gulf of Aqaba, which you see on the map, to Israeli ships. Israeli Prime Minister Ben Gurion and Army Chief General Moshe Dayan tried to get open the Egyptian blockade somehow and stop the attacks from there by occupying Gaza. But for it, they needed the help of international powers. He could not do this work alone. Israel soon found two allies in the form of Britain and France for this war. Why did the two world powers join Israel, and why did America help Egypt in this war? The Suez Canal of Egypt has been very important for the world economy till now. Although the canal passed through Egypt but was controlled by Britain until 1950s. Egypt wanted to control. Under an international agreement, control of the canal was to go to Egypt in 1968. But an incident happened in between. After which Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser immediately took control of the canal. The Egyptian government wanted to build the Aswan Dam on the Nile. It was a mega project and the US and Britain committed funding $70 million for its first phase. In the second phase, the World Bank had to give $200 million. But what happened was that during this time Gamal Abdel Nasser made a huge arms deal with Czechoslovakia, an ally of Soviet Russia. Under this deal in 1955 Egypt was to get aircraft, submarines, warships and many other weapons. A large part of these weapons had even begun to reach Egypt, which was widely exhibited in Cairo. Apart from this deal, Gamal Abdel Nasser took another step by recognizing the communist China. Mao Zedong's government. The US and its allies did not recognize the Chinese communist regime till the 1950s. They accepted Chiang Kai-shek's rule in Taiwan as the Chinese government. So the recognition of communist China and the arms deal with Czechoslovakia led the United States to refuse a loan for the Aswan Dam. After this refusal, Egypt had to come up with a solution to build the dam. Egyptian President Gamal Abdel Nasser came up with a bold solution. He nationalized the Suez Canal. He announced building the dam with £35 million yearly got from the canal. As such, they will not need a loan from Britain and the United States. This action of Gamal Abdel Nasser put Great Britain in serious trouble. Because it had two immediate disadvantages to the British government. One is that at any time, the Egyptians could cut off 75% of Britain's oil which went through the Suez Canal. This canal was a major oil supply route for European countries. It was feared because Egypt now leaned towards the Soviet Russia camp. Britain also had a large share in the company which controlled the Suez Canal. Yearly earnings of £35 million from the canal went to the British shareholders. Then there was an agreement under which the canal was to be handed over to Egypt. So this canal was as good as the lifeline of the British economy. Losing control of it so quickly was a huge loss for them. This problem can also be assessed from this published cartoon in Germany. In it, the United States and European countries are standing in line to get oil, while Gamal Abdel Nasser is dripping only a drop of oil into the pot. From it, one can imagine how Europe, particularly Britain, were growing in rage against Egypt.